Hi, welcome along to AFTV News Daily, along with my man Cecil. What are you hitting down the paper like that? What are you thinking, Trevor McDonald?
This is what they do, Rob, you know? The paper and that.
What's on it?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
What's on that paper?
Don't worry about what's on the paper. Don't
Hey, yo, man. That man's got blank paper. You know what I mean? But listen, welcome along to the show today. It's the day after such a miserable night, for us anyway, as England fans.
Yep.
Last night, you was at the Flatiron, weren't you?
Oh,
what was it like there?
Unbelievable scenes, obviously, until they scored.
Yeah.
It was amazing. A lot of fans came together, sold out. I think over 44,000 people tried to get tickets for the place. It was completely sold out. Someone paid £12,000 for a table.
For a table?
They auctioned off one table.
Not for a ticket, for a table?
Just for the table.
Jeez.
They auctioned it off, and yeah, there was a group of guys there. But yeah, it was amazing. It was incredible.
It was fantastic.
Before obviously the end of the game, it was just amazing. The whole everyone together, celebrating, happy. It was jubilant. It was the England I like to see. You know, everyone.
Yeah,
together.
it was like out here. It was, you know, you could see the atmosphere at the game as well. It was absolutely incredible. Of course, didn't work out in the end. We ended up losing the game. And you know, it was really sad to see our star boy Saka have to step up and take that last penalty, which I'm still a bit peed off about. You know,
surprised about it?
Of course, I'm surprised about it. You know, how he's a 19-year-old kid, right? Let's you know, he's a great footballer, but at the end of the day, he's a 19-year-old kid. He's never taken a penalty, as far as I know, for Arsenal.
No, I can't remember him doing it.
Never taken a penalty, but you're giving him the most important penalty to take. Now, your penalty takers are normally your best. You know, the people who do the last penalty and the first penalty are your best penalty takers.
Correct.
So Harry Kane's the best penalty taker. He took the first one.
Yeah.
Now, your next best penalty taker should be taking the last one. So for me, out of all the penalty takers there, Rashford should have taken that last one. The order was all wrong. I'm not saying that Saka couldn't have took a penalty, but he shouldn't be taking the last penalty with all that pressure on him. And I just felt that it was too much pressure on him, especially when you think about it. You're coming off of the back of 2 missed penalties. Right, it's a lot of pressure. You've got to, even if that was agreed before the game, you've got to switch it up and say, you know, we need to go for an experienced guy now. I think Sterling should have took that penalty.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm being honest.
I agree.
Or
Well,
Grealish.
from when I was playing back in the day, before a big game, a cup game, we would do a penalty shootout in training. That's how it normally happens. You do a penalty shootout, go through rounds and stages, you get added pressure on it, and then you get to decide in the list of who you want to take the penalties then. But then I saw
it's not 60,000 people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At the training ground, there's not, you know, you know, the whole country dependent upon that thing that you're doing on the training ground. And that's what I'm saying. I know they agreed these things before, but you've got to change it up then. It's too much pressure. It was too much pressure for Saka. Big him up for accepting that challenge to take that.
Agreed.
Right.
I was alluding to that, Robbie. I was alluding to this fact that Southgate was on his notepad when the minutes were up for the 120 minutes. He was on his notepad, looking like he was changing or writing names down. So, like you said there, I don't know how he might have decided last minute to make a change. Obviously, he took Henderson off as well after bringing him on. I was surprised as well to see Saka take that last penalty. Like you said, a 19-year-old shouldn't have that weight on his shoulders. As much as we think he could be capable of anything, that was a big ask, especially off the back of 2 missed penalties as well.
And then on top of that now, after missing those penalties, you know, he, along with Marcus Rashford and Sancho, getting some disgusting racial abuse.
Let's get into it.
Disgusting racial abuse.
Let's talk about it.
They even, you know, Rashford's got a mural to him up in Manchester for all the great work that he's done, charitable work and around school meals and stuff like that, and other, just to mention, that's just a few things he's done.
Yeah. Somebody
goes and defaces that mural with racially aggravated slander. You know what I mean? It's disgraceful. What? 1 minute we've gone from, you know, supporting these guys, singing their name, oh, they're brilliant, cheering them on. The next minute, as soon as it's gone wrong now, you know, there's certain individuals out there now who feel that they can racially abuse them, racially abuse Saka, Rashford. I mean, it was absolutely disgusting to see it. I'm glad that it's been called out, but we've got to start taking action on these people.
Let's start on it. Firstly, Am I surprised? Are you
Nope.
surprised? No.
I'm surprised I get it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah. So
as I said, nice when it's going well. You know what I mean? Well done, mate. Yeah, brilliant. Well done, Saka. Fantastic player. Rashford, you're brilliant. It's gone wrong now. Nigger.
yeah.
Let's call it out real. That's what the word nigger was trending yesterday on Twitter after the game. In this country, right, at our players. It was absolutely disgusting, and you know, something needs to be done. We got to get these people out of football, man. We do.
I'm going to quickly talk on some things there as well. So the Rashford thing, as you know as well, I work very close with Rashford, do a lot of his shoots, his campaigns, and he's someone that I think the mural would have affected him massively. I know social media, if I'm completely honest, I spoke with him about it, he doesn't control, well, like many of these footballers, he doesn't control a lot of his social media, has a team in for that. Same with a lot of, I guess, black players as well, because they probably are most affected by the racist abuse, so they're off their social accounts, they have someone managing it, but I know that mural would have affected him. And I want to quickly just read the club's statement on Bukayo Saka that the club released, obviously due to the racial outburst. Arsenal put out. So Arsenal said, last night we saw Bukayo Saka reach the Euro 2020 final at the age of 19 years old. Bukayo has been with us since he was 7, and the whole club couldn't have been prouder to see him represent England throughout the tournament. You could feel it right across the club. Last night we witnessed the leadership and character we've always known and loved in Bukayo. However, this feeling of pride quickly turned to sorrow at racist comments a young player was subjected to on his social media platforms after the final whistle. I can carry on.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and as I said, you know, I know sometimes people don't even like us talking about it, and I don't like to talk about it.
I don't like talking about it.
Nobody likes to talk about it, but it keeps rearing its ugly head, right? And when is something going to be done about it? You know, we had it earlier on in the tournament. Players taking a knee, they're getting booed, right? You know, I felt part of this England team. I'm English, you know. I mean, I was born, you know, my parents are Jamaican, but I was born in this country. I was at Wembley the other night. I'm right behind the team, 100%. As is, like, you know, black people in this country, right? But when you start to see stuff like that, I was chatting to a friend of mine earlier, and he's like, you know what? I didn't feel like supporting this team because it seems like it's only when we're doing something good. As soon as it starts to go wrong, they're on us. And I'm saying to him, listen, this is not everybody. Yeah, it's a tiny minority, but we've got to get that tiny minority out of the game. It exists at the country level. It exists at club level. Every club has gotten every single one, and we've got to do something about it. We've got to get these people out of the game.
Do you feel like you relate to this England side, Robbie? Because I know
really,
because you're a little bit older than me, not much. So you've seen a little bit. You've seen a lot of England sides, but what would you say you relate to?
You know what? I so relate to this team because I feel that. First of all, I look at the team and I'm like, it seems to me like everybody in that team's in there on merit. Yeah. It doesn't matter about your colour. It doesn't matter about your age. If you're good enough, Southgate's going to pick you. And I like that about Southgate, right? And then I can relate to this team because it represents what I see in this country, which is, you know, blacks, whites, you know, together for England. I could really, really relate to this, and I'm glad there's been this real backlash. Yeah, because these things have gone on before in the past.
Of course,
and they've been ignored.
Of course, quickly on that, 5 years ago. So basically on Facebook, I don't even know this. They give you your memories. So if you guys, I'm sure, are watching, but they say what happens last year, the year before, the year before. So today, on this day, 5 years ago, I reshared. The internet right now is either Pokemon Go or racism. There's no in between. So that just goes to show. This was 5 years ago.
Pokemon Go.
I heard you walking around the place. Brennan told me he was like,
we walked around the Emirates. I remember that, man.
I'm glad we can have a little chuckle. But so that's what it was. There's Pokemon Go and racism. There's no in between. I remember that as well. But it's nothing's changing.
Point. Let me tell you something here for somebody who's racist out there. Don't sing Saka's name and then racially abuse him afterwards. Just don't sing his name. Don't go. Don't come. You're not welcome. Yeah. Red White Pappy 93 says the world is a terrible place, Robbie. Not just. I think he was in the UK, but also in America. I was telling my friend while watching a game, I hope a black player scores or else it's going to be nasty. And it shouldn't be like that. Listen, right? Black players have bad games. White players have bad games. We have a pop at them. right? You know, we'll be upset with the performance of a player. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to just start racially abusing somebody, nah.
Yeah, I agree.
And Yash says, big up Saka, the guy's talented and he has a great future ahead. On that, I agree with that. I think that Saka, I said it in a video I did this morning. Listen, I feel this is where this could be. This will make him, man, because sometimes you got to go through some real adversity.
Facts.
Yeah, and he's feeling it now. He's feeling it, no matter how many people are around him and how many people have sent him various things, which he's received lots and lots.
The support has been
phenomenal across, you know, politicians, footballers, sports people, fans, everybody sending their support to him, right? And despite that, he's still going to be feeling terrible today because he's probably feeling to himself that he kind of let the country down. You did not let the country down. It's penalties. It's an absolute lottery. Unfortunately, you missed yours, but you will be back. There's been many, many players that have bounced back, and this has made them bigger. I remember Beckham, back in the day when he got sent off.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and he got absolutely pillared for that, right? And he bounced back to be the world's, you know, most famous footballer, and he's still an icon now. You know,
that was a big moment in his career. Actually, there was an Adidas advert released on that whole red card thing, and how
Gareth Southgate, who's the manager,
he's missed penalty as well. Yeah,
missed the penalty. You know what I mean? So, you know, Saka, the message to you is you'll be back from this, man, and you'll be back stronger. These things make you. It's really sad to see, you know, such a young player,
19 years old.
Yeah,
19. Just imagine. You know? Think back to. I mean,
jeez,
not long for you, Robbie. We're not that long ago for you.
But 19 and the country's depending on me. Bloody hell. I feel sorry for the country. You know what I mean? Country's over, bro. It's over. But Wayne Sage says, I can tell you, so many people around the world, especially myself, wanted England to lose.
Oh, wow.
Because of racial problems.
Oh, okay.
On the other hand, I wanted Saka and Sterling to win it.
I get that.
That's facts. There's a lot of people that think like that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that like, you know what, I want England to lose because I see all these little racist things. I hear them booing the knee. I don't want them to win.
Getting ahead of themselves.
Like
sometimes they're destroying things for saying it's coming home. They're getting excited and before they've won anything.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was doing that.
But I know what that guy's saying because I've also spoke to fans that have said the similar things, and that the England fans. Yeah, they like you said, they booed the knee. They kind of deserve to lose, but it's a shame. And we spoke.
But not everybody's like that. I want you to listen. Even when I went to the game, it's the tiny minority of people who booed the knee. I think, you know, after the real backlash of the first part, that really died down. But it's disgusting to see. Red White Pappy 93 says, I don't get why people always target race, especially when it comes to football. It's just terrible and sad. As soon as Saka missed, I knew it. You know, I'm gonna you see when Saka missed that, I was sat with expressions, we was doing the stream on the Don Robbie channel. He showed me his phone. He goes out where somebody had tweeted him saying, boy, you know, like one of his mates saying, yo, listen, all the black players better just shut their phones off now.
100%.
They're getting it.
100%.
They're getting it, and he was spot on.
100%. I finished at Flatiron Square last night, and that was my outro. I said, listen, it's sad, it's devastating, we wanted to win, but please, I don't want to see any racist abuse. And then this morning it's come out, and we've woken up to it. And let's just quickly not forget, England without immigration leaves us with Shaw, Stones and Pickford. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay, so we have to make that very clear. Immigration has built the country.
Yeah, it's a mixed team.
It's a mixed team,
and that's what we love about it.
Is,
Your mama says this is going to turn Saka from a boy into a man. Very true. They just a nice young kid into a cold-blooded killer on the pitch. I hope so.
I hope for that. Yeah, we need that next season.
And Manish says, I have a feeling in the next 15 years, England will win the World Cup. And I think he's put Xhaka here, but I think he means Saka will lift the cup as the captain of England. That would be nice. That would be really nice. And listen, as I said, look at Gareth Southgate himself. He's now the manager. He's doing brilliantly, even though we remember we lost on penalties. And he can bounce back. Let me move on with some other news. Hector Bellerin today. This is quite interesting news. Now, according to a couple of publications out there, they're claiming that Hector Bellerin has requested to leave Arsenal. He wants to leave Arsenal this summer. There's even one publication claiming that he put in a transfer request. I think it's in the where is it? The Daily Express.
That's quite bold.
They're saying
It's quite bold of him.
Yeah, they're saying that he's put in a request. He's put in a transfer request. Now, I don't know whether this is true or not.
I'm hearing a loan is being spoke about. A loan with option to buy.
Yeah, so it's Inter Milan would like to, the rumours are Inter Milan would like to buy Hector Bellerin or take Hector Bellerin on loan because, of course, they've lost Hakimi, who's joined PSG. So they'd like to take him on loan. So obviously there's a lot of negotiating to be done. I don't think Arsenal want to do any loan deal. They're like, if they are going to let him go, and there's a lot of rumours that they may be interested in keeping him, but if they are going to let him go, they want cash.
Yeah.
Now,
how much do you think he's worth right now? How would you be happy to see him? What price would you have to see him?
He's got 2 years left on his contract. For me, Hector Bellerin, if I'm Arsenal,
realistic.
If I'm Arsenal, I'm being realistic. I want at least £25 million. He's still a young player. He's a young player. Yes, he's had injuries in the past. He's a big name in football. I want about
fair.
I want about £25 million.
25 million.
I want about £25 million for Hector Bellerin.
Okay, let's see. People in the comments, how much do you think he's worth? Would you say 25? I want to hear.
You can't, and you can't base that worth.
No, I'm not.
We didn't play well last season.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
You've got to base that worth off of he's a very experienced player.
15.
He got into the Spanish squad, even though he didn't make it to the Euros, but he did get into the squad. Right? To me, £25 million for Hector Bellerin. That's what I'd be looking for if I was Arsenal.
Truthfully, we want as much money as possible. Let's be honest, because right now,
no, but you don't want to give a player like Hector Bellerin away. To me, but as I said, and it's interesting. It's interesting that if he has put in a transfer request, or I don't think he has, but if he has said that he wants to leave the club. Right,
it's interesting for him to say
that's interesting. That's interesting.
Because his character to say
it means he's kind of,
he must have walked into the boardroom and said, "Yo, I want to go," but I don't ever see that.
He's kind of forcing the hand of Arsenal to say, "I want to leave." Now, whether he'll figure next season if he stays, because we saw Callum Chambers finishing off the season as the number 1 right back. You've got Cedric there as well.
Big up Cedric.
But for me, I don't know. I don't know what people think about this.
Would you be upset? Would you be sad to see him leave?
I definitely think it's time for him to leave.
Okay.
It's time. Hector Bellerin's been at Arsenal for over 10 years now.
For a long
time.
Right? And through the decline, really.
He burst onto the scene. He was brilliant. He's had some good times at Arsenal. Let's be real. The injuries set him right back.
Big time.
I don't think it's a matter of any injuries anymore.
Well, he said he had pace. People say he had pace, a lot of pace before.
Yeah, this whole thing about
him
pace
being rapid.
has dropped. I don't even think it's anything to do with pace. I just think that Hector Bellerin looks like a player at the moment at Arsenal that the time is up. It's time for him to move on for his career.
Yeah.
And it's time for Arsenal to move on because we could do with somebody else. That we need a refresh, and he needs a refresh.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it suits both parties for him to move on. Now, where he's going to move to, I don't know. As I said, Inter Milan would like to take him.
Yeah.
Obviously, for him, it would be a great move. He'd get to play in the Champions League as well, which is, you can see from him he's a very ambitious guy.
So that makes sense. It does make sense then. If he's getting rumours that maybe clubs might be interested, saying he wants to leave. I mean, players have done that. I don't know if it's the truth.
No. Listen, Inter Milan, they're the champions of Italy. You know what I mean? And that would be a fantastic move for him.
Yeah.
He'd have to go in and, as I said, Hakimi was one of the top players around Europe last year in that right back position or right wing back position. And you never know, for Hector Bellerin,
that'd be a great move.
It'd be a great move. And as I said, he might go there and feel completely refreshed and be a different Hector Bellerin to what we've been seeing week in, week out at Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I just feel for both sides, it would be a good move. But it's just interesting that he's put in a transfer request. Chris says, Don Robbie, Oh, he's going back to the Saka thing. So England played well, and Saka will become a great player for years to come.
We got one from here from Richard K. A super chat. Thank you very much. Says Arsenal need a right back and a few midfielders and a striker. Lacazette swap for Immobile, Bellerin out for Ricardo, or Leicester in sign Almiron and Loftus-Cheek.
All right. Pessy says Bellerin has to stay. Whereas Lucas Reed says bye Bellerin. He divides opinion, Hector Bellerin.
He does massively.
You've got some fans that absolutely love him because, you know, he's got a great PR machine. You know what I mean? He's
Laurie, your brother,
and you know what as well though, he's a very charismatic guy.
Yep. Which is important.
And there's a lot of fans that absolutely love him, but then there's other fans that are like, you know what? We need to move on now. We need to move on. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I think I'm at the stage where you're right, Robbie. It's time for him to move on. But I respect Bellerin for wanting to move. Like there's many players at Arsenal that don't see progression in the side and have asked to leave. Fabregas, Van Persie did it. There's many players that have done that. So knowing our luck, he may get a move and then flourish, which will burn me a little bit. But that's what it is.
Yeah. Innie says, why would Hector want a loan move without an obligation to buy, risking him coming back?
I think there is.
Exactly. There's been talks of obligations in there. There's been talks of obligations not in there. Geordie says Tariq Lamptey. Badman Ting says good riddance. Hallelujah. Jeez.
Yeah. It splits the fans' opinion. Same with Xhaka. Can I quickly read this one to you, Robbie? Daniel Eglinton says, Don Robbie, are there watch-alongs for the upcoming games, the pre-season games?
There is a watch-along tomorrow evening. It will be replacing this News Daily show. Of course, excuse me, Arsenal taking on Hibernian tomorrow up there in Scotland, up in Edinburgh. Would have loved to have gone to that, but we're not allowed to go. But Arsenal taking them on in a pre-season friendly tomorrow. Nuno Tavares will be travelling with the team. So our new signing, Nuno Tavares, will be travelling. A chance to see what he's going to be like, and we are doing a watch along to that. And of course, we'll be keeping our eyes on him in particular. He's coming in the left back position.
What other new players have we got coming? What other new players going to be playing at that game?
Well, there'll be no other new players at that game, but there's Arsenal, the Albert Sambi Lokonga one. That is more or less done.
No new signings.
From what I understand with that one, he's just isolating. I think. You know what? I said it on my Transfer Daily show this morning, right?
Talk to me.
I know a lot of us are frustrated at the lack of signings, but who else has signed people? What's the all? You know, show me.
I hear that.
Show me like the loads of signings at Chelsea, Man City.
I mean, Aston Villa,
Liverpool.
Aston Villa made
one signing, one or two signings.
Two signings, but they were in the market for
they signed
it as well.
They signed a Buendia, but nobody. The point I'm trying to make is that nobody's made a load of signings yet. The Euros and the Copa America have really sort of changed the dynamic of the transfer window. Now is when you're going to see a lot of movement happening, and I think over the next couple of weeks you're going to see Albert Sambi Lokonga coming in definitely for Arsenal. I think we're going to see a lot of movement on the Ben White deal. Those deals there. So players are going to be coming in. I want to see the right players coming in.
Agreed.
But there's going to be a lot of activity at Arsenal.
Do you think
I think people just need to be a bit patient.
Do you think the business should have been done earlier, though, considering the decline that we're in, from Arsenal perspective? Or do you think, you know what, they're right to take their time? Everyone else has?
No, it's not. I don't even think it's a matter of taking their time. The right business has to be done. But you can't just, you've got to negotiate things, haven't you? You've got to, and there's a lot of players have been away. So somebody like Ruben Neves, for instance, who we're interested in, he's been away at the Euros. Somebody like a Locatelli that we're interested in, there's no chance of doing any talking and anything to him until after the game yesterday. Granit Xhaka, who, seemingly on his way out to Roma, can't get no proper deal done until he comes back. I remember there's a lot of people been saying, oh yeah, but the Euros are finished. Switzerland got knocked out a week and a half ago. Well, then these players still got to go on holiday. Because they've had no holiday. They've literally gone from the end of the season straight into a camp for their team, done the Euros. Now they've got to get the holidays that everybody else has had.
They want to before they go into pre-season.
It's made it difficult this season. Obviously, we need to try and get our business done as quickly as possible. There's certain maybe fringe players that we could,
There's some players outside the Euros that we could have.
Sambi Lokonga, maybe we could have tried to bring them in earlier. And then you've got other things to factor in as well. Like say Albert Sambi Lokonga, from what I understand, he's done his medical, right? It's all done, dusted, signed. He's got to self-isolate.
I knew he was going to see
right? Everybody's got to do it.
Factors.
Nobody just walks into the country. It doesn't matter whether you're a footballer. You still got to do the isolation period. So there are factors this year that are making things different.
Yeah, there's an argument to it because there is some stipulations in the UK law that you can not isolate if you're a professional footballer, but a lot of them are.
No, but he's coming in as a foreign player, so he has to.
So depends what
Arnab says, how about Luis Diaz of Colombia for Arsenal as a Lacazette replacement? He looked very good. I've got to say, I watched him in a couple of the Copa America games for Colombia, and he did look decent. I think he scored in the semi-finals. Was it the semi-final quarter? But he looked good. Or was it the semi-final? Or was it the third place playoff? One of you will put me right anyway.
Yeah.
Billy Meyer says, are you guys coming to the US now? Listen, we are working. We've been discussing that all day. We're trying to work something out. It is so difficult at the moment.
We've been begging
to get to America. I mean, you can't get no direct flights at the moment. It's mental, but we're working on it. We're working on it, right? Bunty says, hi, Robbie. What about Andre Silva? Would you like him to come to Arsenal? Also,
I heard about Andre Silva.
Please come on as a guest on 442 Indian podcast. All right, we'll try that. Andre Silva has in fact left. He's talking about Andre Silva, who was at is it not Leverkusen? No.
Sorry, we'll get up.
No, Eintracht Frankfurt. He's gone. He's gone to RB Leipzig, so we can't get him. So that's gone. So, and Richard K says, sorry, I mean swap Lacazette for Immobile. And bring in Immobile.
He's not. He's not going to come in here. He won't come in.
Richard, man.
He ain't going to come in here.
Immobile's all right, man, but Lacazette for Immobile, no chance.
Yeah, you need someone to come in and
bring in Ricardo and
change up the whole
Almiron.
Striking system.
And Loftus-Cheek, would you take them? You know what? I Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek.
But
since injury as well, he's been slow at getting back to his
always
best
injured
as well. Yeah,
always injured. That's the big thing.
I'm going to quickly just put it back to the news before about the pre-season game. The players that we're likely to see, obviously, our new signing, but also Aubameyang. Yep, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe, and some youngsters also will be involved.
Yep, that's been and listen. It's so important this season that our players get a good pre-season.
Yes.
It's so important. They didn't really get that last year. Somebody like an Aubameyang, this is a huge season for him. He didn't turn up last year. He was poor, right? And this is a massive season for him. And him getting a good pre-season is very, very important. I remember the previous pre-season, he had a good one. And he carried that through into the season. Very important that Aubameyang has a really good pre-season.
Do you think
Lacazette?
Do you think the fans? I don't want to say turn on him, but do you think that there will be a lot of questions if Aubameyang? I know you know the answer to this. If Aubameyang, let's say if he doesn't hit more than Lacazette last season, so say if he doesn't reach 15 goals or he hits 15 goals, do you think that's a poor season for Aubameyang and he'll be questioned?
I think after last season, Aubameyang has to have a big season this year. He'll know that. He'll know he's got to bounce back. He was poor last year. Simple as that. You can argue service and things like that, but he just didn't look himself. He wasn't as sharp as he normally is.
Yeah.
He had a poor season, and for us to do well, we need him to have a big season. So I think Pepe having a pre-season as well.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey. I don't know if you didn't say Thomas Partey in those names.
No,
but
he'll be in there.
Those guys, we need them to have a big and good pre-season so that they hit the ground running.
It's imperative. It really is.
Richard K says, great job, Robbie and Cecil. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Please hit a like on the video, guys, if you're watching.
Yeah.
Let's get the video count up. 4,000 watching.
Pogo Pro J says, Denzel Dumfries would have been an amazing signing for us. A lot of people have been talking about him as a possible replacement, maybe for a Hector Bellerin. Jesus Street says, Bellerin deserves better. What a player. As I said, a lot of people really, really like him. Jid F32 says, Hector had identical attacking stats to Kieran Tierney, and we conceded twice as many goals from Kieran Tierney's flank than from Hector's. But one is a hero and the other one is a scapegoat.
I don't know about
Hector deserves better. than this fan base.
I don't know if that's correct in the stat wise. And firstly, Kieran Tierney's stats may be lesser because he tries more to go forward. He takes on more players and does more difficult passes as well, and has better stats than Bellerin as well in the sense of assists.
I don't think you can. I'm sorry, Jid, right? If you're trying to say to me that Hector Bellerin played as well as Kieran Tierney last season, no chance at all. You know, Kieran Tierney was excellent last season. Kieran Tierney also, as well as playing as a left back, he sometimes had to play like in that free at the back. He played as a centre back in a free. His crossing is better. I mean, what's the stats on crossing and stuff like that? I'd like to see that. No chance. Right, much more effective player, and one of the problems is that, you know, everything seems to be, you know, the effective stuff, the positive stuff only came down one wing.
Robbie, can I ask you just quickly on this comment here? Box of Oranges 84, great name, says don't buy someone base because of a good international tournament. It's always a trap. What is your thoughts on that? Because people are right. You see people in internationals and you think, wow. They're amazing, but it's only
Dumfries is one that everybody's talking about at the moment. He had a great Euros for Holland. Let's get Denzel Dumfries. They were basing it off of a couple of games. When the games went further into the tournament, he wasn't as good. You know, because people kind of worked him out a bit. It's like, you know, he's flying down the wing, but defensively he weren't great, right? So I agree with that. You can't base it off of a tournament. Whereas if I look at, say, Arsenal at the moment, who are linked, for instance, with Locatelli of Italy, they've been scouting him long before the Euros. They've been looking at him as he's at Sassuolo, and they've been like, hey, we like this guy, he's a good player, he's proper. And they've been scouting him since then, right? And now he's gone and had a good Euros on top of that.
That's just...
So now he's proved that he can do it at the highest level, because... When you're scouting a player like that now, you're saying, right, he seems to have all the qualities, but he's never played in the Champions League or anything like that.
In a big
would he be up for that level?
Right.
Now they've seen from him playing in the Euros that he can be up for that level. So I think you've got to base it off of everything. You can't just base it off of a tournament. Just like I don't think you can just base everything purely off of stats. I know that's the thing now, but what about the player's character? What about the player in the dressing room? What about it? There's lots of factors apart from stats.
100%.
So, and you know that from someone who used to play. Richard Kay says, I know you missed out on Buendia, but would you take Cantwell? I think he's a great player. Should be at a bigger club. He is a very good player, Cantwell. But not
for the profile of Arsenal
again,
right now.
We're looking for a creative midfielder. The signature says Arteta convinced him to stay. So what's happened to Hector to give up on Arteta's vision? He has given up on Arsenal, which doesn't bode well. That's a very good point, right? Because the rumours is that last season Hector Bellerin was going to leave. Not even rumours. I think Arteta's come out himself and said, I told him I want you. I persuaded him to stay. Listen, this is not facts. This is just from the outside.
Speak it, Robbie. Tell him. Just go on.
No, but this is just from the outside looking in, right? So Hector Bellerin, at the start of the season, I thought played really, really well, right? Even though some people were getting at him, I thought he was very unfair. I thought he'd started the season well.
Okay.
He got into the Spanish squad, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Played one game.
Yeah, one game or not, he's in and amongst the Spanish squad.
It's an achievement.
But then after that, he fell off. Listen, his form fell off. Then he's not figuring. Then even Callum Chambers is playing the end of the season. So he's probably looking on it now and thinking to himself, you know what? 26 now, things are petering out a bit at Arsenal. I'm not even a regular right back no more. I need a new challenge, and that's all it is. That's what I think it is, more than a falling out. And the manager's, Arteta's looking at him thinking he hasn't delivered what I wanted, even though, I convinced him to stay, but he's not delivering.
Do you know what it surprises me is because he did an interview on, if you guys, you can check it out if you want, it's on with Timsy, and he says how much he loves London and being able to be around the city and the cultural influences, and he really loves the city. So for him to say he wants to go abroad, and this was very recent, if this is true, it probably well is, it did surprise me, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but you love a city, you love London, and when you were still playing football,
I like to
and somebody come on and said to you, you play for Inter Milan in the Champions League, what are you going to say? No, I love London too much. you're going, innit?
Yeah,
It's the money's right and everything's right.
Of course, you're gonna
huge
get
club.
That's a good.
You know,
argument.
so
Alright.
Joe says, Robbie, you can't statistically prove that Tierney and Bello had different seasons, right down to chances created and defensive stats. You know what I'm proving it with? The eyes, bro.
The eye test.
Remember those things that we used to use back in the day called eyes? When we looked and we said, hey, yeah, he's playing wicked. And then the next man, yeah, what's going on with this guy, man? That's what I'm using.
Before the stats and technology, when it's
Kieran Tierney was way more effective than Bellerin last season.
It's not an argument. It's not even an argument.
And if he was so effective, then why was he dropped? Marish says, if Kroenke spends 250 million on the team this year without firing Arteta, why didn't they spend the same amount last year when he was at least in the Europa League? Well, who said they're spending listen, the 250 million pound thing, I want to see that first. When I see that, we can revisit back on the 31st of August.
But we did take out a loan for an undisclosed fee again. I don't know what happened to that.
Spending no 250 million pound. I'm willing to bet money on it. East Main says, big up Don Robbie. Are you going to be watching the Reggae Boys tonight? Hopefully Kiddo Taylor Hart joins as well.
But me Jamaican as well, you know what?
Is it on TV?
I don't think so.
Is it on TV?
The Reggae Boys.
You guys know?
Who's streaming Reggae Boys?
You guys know over there? No, I'm wondering if it's on. They're going to check it.
What, BBC One? Imagine they've got Jamaica play.
Yeah, if it's on, I'm watching it, man. I'll watch it.
Yeah, let us know.
Push Parga says, I think we should relax a bit. Let's not have expectations going into the season. I understand we want to succeed, but it's not in our hands and the management will do what it wants. Be calm and don't stress yourselves too much.
Talk on that super chat.
Listen, he's
no
right.
Expectations.
He's right in that, we should lower our expectations for this season, right? Because we are where we are. We're eighth. We've been eighth for the last two seasons. So we can't go into the season and say, yeah, man, listen.
Do what you want.
Minimum top four. We can't do that as it stands. I need to see some signings come in that convinces me where I say, hey, you know what? We've got outside chance of top four.
Yeah.
Right? So I have quite a, but I still think we need to put pressure on the owners and the management to make the right decisions, man. This is a huge season.
It's on Premier Sports 1.
It's on Premier Sports
1. I think I've got that channel.
Okay, all right.
Reggae
Boys on tonight. JDF32 still.
Oh my God.
He says the crossing isn't better. Tierney had 3 assists from 125 crosses. Bellerin had 2 from 54. I'm not saying Hector was better, but look at the stats. Don't say you use your eyes because that is subjective bias. I use my eyes, bro. I'm telling you that when I see Kieran Tierney, I see a way more effective player, right, than I do Hector Bellerin, right? He puts in lots of crosses. What about when you're doing these stats, right? What about the crosses that have been put in that are brilliant crosses, but no one's got on the end of?
Yeah, good crosses. There is
because that's what he's done. That's what he does that continually throughout a game. Anybody who goes to a game will tell you Kieran Tierney is a much better crosser of the ball than Hector Bellerin. That's one of his weaknesses. One of his weaknesses is crossing the ball.
It is. Hector Bellerin's it's not good. And I've never heard the Spanish say, we need Hector Bellerin. Why is he not in the squad? But I know the Scottish fans, they scream out for Kieran Tierney.
So having said there's a bit more to choose from. Yeah,
but still.
If we play for Spain. Ferrer says, Leno has no choice just to leave Arsenal. As long as he plays to Arsenal, he will always be compared to Martinez. It's a nightmare for him.
That's true.
Now, listen, I was having this argument with DT the other day on the All Guns Blazing podcast. Now,
DT arguing,
right? Emi Martinez, player of the goalkeeper Golden Glove or the Golden Glove. Golden Glove at the Copa America, right? Messi bigging him up. Number one keeper in South America right now.
One of the top goalkeepers in Premier League last season as well.
One of the top goalkeepers. He had a
great season as well.
One of the top goalkeepers in the world right now, right? He was brilliant in goal in the Copa America. They won it, right? He was awesome, right? We sold him and we kept Leno. And as I said, if we now get rid of Leno, which is some of the rumours going around that we might offload Leno and bring someone else in, then that means it was a massive mistake to let Emi Martinez go. It's as simple as that. Agreed?
Robbie, it's a massive mistake already. I don't want to wait till. I don't think we should wait till if we sell Leno. I think it was a massive mistake. I think it'd have been fine, but it is what it is. I know he wanted first team football, and Arsenal couldn't promise that, so he stuck with Leno. But you know, Martinez prevailed.
Gary Cotton says, like, you're trying to judge crossing quality entirely from assists. You're judging crossing from a tiny part of information on it. I'm not sure if he's talking about me or the other guy. Antonio will be joining the Reggae Boys in the World Cup qualifiers, says Jamal. Kenny Phillips says, after Hector Bellerin had his injury, he was never the same player after his recovery. His performances on the pitch showed that.
Just before we do the next comment, I just want to quickly say we've got to mention, guys, the new kit. It's going to be launched this week. We're hearing the new home kit. Yeah, the home kit. Obviously, the away kit's already been released. You've seen it, the yellow one with the cannon, the navy cannon. But the new one is being released today. Not today, sorry, this week. The home kit. I don't know if has anyone seen. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Thoughts on it? Are you going to get it, or are you going to be like? Are you one of those guys that I'm not funding the Cronkies? I'm not.
No, I don't want. We've had this debate here. I've had it with.
Stupid Cecil, fanboy for kits. Sorry.
I've had it with Turkish. Listen, my thing is this, yeah. With the kits stuff.
Yep.
Personally, if somebody wants to buy a kit, I have no problem with it. Go buy your kit. You're buying your kit because you support the team. The money has already been spent with Adidas, right? They got it already, right? Not buying the kit ain't gonna make no difference in my books. If you want to make a difference. Right, and I've said this to people before, the only way to make a difference, right, if you're going to take a proper stand, not no little thing that's just a little symbol stand that has zero effect. Like I heard some people the other day saying, when the all or nothing thing comes on, they're boycotting that.
Yeah, they're not going to watch it.
They've already got the money.
Yeah,
they've got the 10 million already. Yeah, the contract is signed. It's done. They've got the dough. So it doesn't make no difference, right? What does make a difference is if you turn around and say, I'm not going to games. That makes a difference. That hits them hard in their pocket.
Big time.
If you say, I am not going to a game, that hits them.
Yeah, or I'm not renewing my season ticket.
If I'm not renewing, and it's a very, very hard thing to do. But let's be real, that's the only way to really hit the Cronkies where it hurts.
Yeah.
Not buying a kit means nothing to them, right? And what it does sometimes, it causes a bit of divide because somebody goes and buys a kit, then you get another person, oh, what do you buy the kit for, right? And that person's like, well, I buy the kit not because of the Cronkies, I'm buying the kit because I support the team. So I don't want to look at anybody and say, you know, whether you should buy. I think that's your personal choice, right? If you feel, I respect the fact that Turkish, for instance, feels that he can't, as it stands, buy the kit because he just feels that he just doesn't want to do that.
Exactly.
But to me, if somebody else wants to buy the kit, you go and buy the kit.
But it also
it's your personal choice.
It does cause tension. You're right there in a sense of like my nephews support Arsenal, my twin nephews, and I want to buy. They like the kit. I want to buy them the kit. But then, like again, you feel like. I feel subconscious that like, oh, I'm funding the Cronkies, but it's rubbish. The money's already been done. Go buy your kits, people, if you want to buy your kits.
To me, I mean, this is a point that's brought up a lot about the kits. And Summit Bain says, Robbie, boycotting hampers future deals, not just with the same brand, but with other brands as well. So boycotting the kit and Amazon, all or nothing, will have an impact in some form. But let's get real, Summit. If you wanna hurt the Cronkies, you turn around, and it's a very, very, very difficult thing to do, and that's why everybody will come up with other little simple things.
You punch them in the face.
No, we're not advocating that either. But other people will come up with little gestures. Yeah, oh, I'm not buying the kit. Oh, I ain't watching that. Oh, I ain't. You want to hit them where it hurts. You do not go to games. You don't buy a season ticket. You don't buy any tickets. As a matter of fact, you don't even. You just lock it off. You don't watch Sky.
Big arse is a big arse,
and it's a huge arse because you know what the problem is. We love our football club.
Exactly.
We love our football club. So, to me, you know, it's a bit of a because you get fans that they like buying the kit. They like to wear the colours of their kit. So
it's a tough one, but
it's a really tough one. But my one is there's only let's be real. Don't sugarcoat it. You know, there's only when you know, you was talking about earlier when the Kroenkes finally decided to act.
Yeah.
With the manager, when Arsene Wenger was in charge, and we could all see, we loved Arsene Wenger, but we could see at that time that his declining was coming.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. It was when they started seeing those empty seats in the stadium, week in, week out, they started to get really panicky.
Correct.
Not because you didn't buy a shirt. So, you know.
Super chats are flying in. Thank you, everyone, as well. Just quickly on that note, thank you for your super chats and your comments. There's loads coming in.
Yep. You want to do a couple of those super chats?
People are saying,
and I'll do a couple of the regular chats.
They're saying they agreed. We have a pleasure. They should punch him in the face. I told you. Sounds good.
Gunners Forever says, Robbie, so we're not condoning that.
No, we're not.
Gunners Forever says, Robbie, so are you buying tickets this season? Gunners Forever, I have. I bought my season ticket, right? Because I want to see my football team play. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard, right? Because I know really and truly that if all of us did that and said we ain't going, right, that would probably be the end of the Kroenkes. We say probably be the end. It would be the start of the end, should I say?
I respect your honesty, Robbie.
I want to see my football team play.
Yeah.
My football team, to me, is not the Kroenkes. I don't look at it. My football team is Arsenal, and I want to see Arsenal, especially after I've had a whole year. I've not been able to go and watch my football team play. I want to go into a ground and see those players play and support them and get behind them. I'm not getting behind no Kroenkes. But if I'm being real, and if every fan's being real out there who says Kroenke out and stuff like that, if we really, really, really was going to stand hardcore in our convictions, we wouldn't go. And even then, that might not get rid of them, because I remember going to Blackpool when Arsenal played Blackpool in the FA Cup, and I saw their fans turn up outside. At that time they were protesting against terrible owners that they had called the Oystons, who had been selling out their club for years, right? And I mean, 10 times worse than even what the Kroenkes have done, right? And I remember going outside there, right? And all their fans turn up for their biggest game for years, playing Arsenal in the FA Cup. And just before kickoff, they all turned around and went home. They complete boycott of the club, right? And even then, those owners was still sticking in there and not wanting to leave. In the end, it was a court case that got them out. So it's
tough.
really difficult. But there is no doubt that pressure that they was putting on by not going to games was having a serious financial effect on the Oystons. But a lot of the other things, a lot of the other deals and stuff like that,
do you think there's similarities?
they're done.
Do you think there's similarities with that with the protest, Robbie? Because, like you said, there was a massive protest, but nothing. If we're going to be honest, nothing really came of it. Yes, there was a lot of media attention, but the Kroenkes are still here.
But listen, you're not going to get rid of the Kroenkes, all right, or get your message through to the Kroenkes with one protest. It has to be many, many protests. The protests, I agree with.
Yeah.
I think the protests do have a strong message, because following the protests, they did come out and say, listen, we are planning to do this. It may mean that they spend more money this summer because of the protests. I still want to see. I mean, if you look at the protests that happened with the Man United fans,
they got a response.
Their owners are actually at the moment, right? I mean, you know, I spoke to a United fan the other day, and he's going to be, Robbie, I'm still don't trust them, but they have made a lot of, you know, they've done a lot of things since those protests. They've met with their fans. They've spoken to their fans about some of the things the fans don't like. They said that they're going to give the fans more involvement on the board and stuff like
Chelsea as well, same thing.
Chelsea the same thing. Whereas our owners, I ain't heard a damn thing. They came and they said they're sorry and all that sort of stuff, and that was fine.
Be more communication, be excited.
I haven't seen, and then they disappeared again, and we haven't heard anything. So I think I am right behind protests, and I think we still need to. The protest should still continue. But I'm just being honest right here. This is just my opinion that, you know, a lot of things are gestures. If you really want to hit them, and I haven't done it, and I'm not being a hypocrite to no one, and I'm not, you know.
I respect that,
But
actually. I respect that massively.
you don't go to games, and it is really, really when you're a fan like me who's been following Arsenal all your life since you was a little kid. You know, you're a teenager and you've been going to Highbury week in, week out, following your team. It's really, really hard to turn around and say, you know what, I ain't going no more until these guys leave. It's tough. It really is.
It is. Please set now. Time is right. So I was going to take some comments as well. Ethiopian Classic says, please protect now. Time is right. Protect ASAP. And again, Saka. Oh, M Shahar says Saka should come United. No, he's ours. This is one of the. This is one of the worries. This is one of the worries.
He ain't going nowhere. Nobby says Venky's. I think their name were the Chicken Men. Yeah, they're right. The Venky's at Blackburn. He said they destroyed Blackburn FC with talk of signing Ronaldinho. Talk and the rest is chicken tonight history. I remember the Venky's again, terrible owners at Blackburn, terrible owners who promised the world.
Super chat. Yeah, you're gonna do the Cameron one.
You can do that one.
I was direct to you. So Robbie, it's time to shout the incredible Hale End Academy. It's the best academy in the country. Balogun, Smith Rowe, Saka. I can never say his name. I'm not good with names. Was it? Can you do it?
You know, I think I said it the other day and everyone was cussing me as well.
Okonkwo?
Huh?
We are the
Okonkwo.
We're probably two words that name call it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, right? Big up Hale End Academy, man. They are producing some great players and some great talent, and that is the one shining light at Arsenal.
And KT as well. Yeah,
there's runs shining and light at Arsenal.
Yeah.
William says, why are we buying Ben White for £50 million when Bayern buys Upamecano for 37 million?
Oh, I'd like you to answer this one.
Who is a Champions League proven youngster? Well, I agree with the guy.
Oh, okay.
You know, United on the verge of buying Varane for 50 million.
Yeah.
You know, this Ben White better be good.
We've spoken about this before. Yeah, you're right. You're on the same.
This is a young player, and he's a young player, and he's a great prospect, and we might all be in a year's time saying, "Wow."
Eat my words.
But at the moment, it just seems a bit. It's a lot of money.
People saying English tax.
It is English tax. There is the English tax, but it's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot. 50. Oh, what's gone up to 54 now?
50 to 55 million it could be. It's a lot of money.
Shouldn't be priority, but I wouldn't be angry if he arrives. I've said that many a times. It shouldn't be our priority to sign him, but if he comes in, he comes in.
Yeah, you know, you're not angry if he arrives, but like this guy here, BB Shady says, we have Saliba, 27 million quid.
He's on loan.
Going out on loan again.
Yep.
You know, set to be loaned to probably Marseille. And for me, you know, priorities.
Yeah, wrong decision or?
Well, we wait and see. But for me, it's only a good decision if we get what we need. So if I see an attacking midfielder, a defensive midfielder, a right back.
Bro, you're asking a
lot. We bought in a left back cover, so that's one down.
Yeah, that's a lot. But right back? You said right back as well?
Right back, especially if Hector Bellerin goes.
Yeah, backup goalkeeper.
Defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And an attacking midfielder. So that's three. I want to see them three. If I don't see those three, and I'm not on about Sambi Lokonga. He's a young up. He's coming like
he's not going to walk into the first team and be the main man.
If I don't see those three, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I'm going to say it wasn't the right signing.
That's a big ask. That's like a £200 million.
Because that means that we've done our budget on a player that I don't necessarily think we. I know the fact that David Luiz left and he was great at distribution and that. And this guy's supposed to be really good at that, but. We'll see. Guna DSB says it's a Okonkwo.
A Okonkwo or what?
Okonkwo.
We can't do this. Who? Okonkwo?
Okonkwo.
Whoa. Okay.
I got that right?
I don't know. Let us know, people.
We're gonna get in contact with him.
Yeah.
Where's it gone? The comments are moving so fast.
Let me quickly read this. Dallas says AFTV, unless the stands are empty for weeks on end, no protests will get the Kroenke's attention. Stan had to pony up $5 billion for the Rams Palace. He's far more worried about filling those seats. AFTV.
got a good point.
Got a great point.
got a good point.
So much money on that.
Yep,
It
he
does
spent a
look
lot of
incredible. It
money.
does look incredible. Not that it affects us, but
it's an incredible stadium. But
have you been?
I was outside it when they were building it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was seeing it from the outside. It's huge. But at the end of the day, from the point that he makes is right. It'd have to be empty for weeks on end. That's what we have to do, really. If let's be real, you can't. You know, what I mean, we can. As I said, the other things are just gestures. I'm not buying a shirt. You think I can't give a toss about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all it does, as I said, sometimes it causes a bit of a divide in the fan base because someone's pointing their finger at him, or why have you bought that shirt for? And this is back and forth, and we're arguing amongst ourselves instead of focusing on what we should be focusing on, with the Cronkies. So I feel at this stage, protests are the way. We just got to keep the pressure on. When I spoke to somebody at the AST about that, that's what they said to me at the time. They said,
Protest.
Keep the pressure on. Robbie, all we can do is keep the pressure on.
I like the people are saying in the comments, Arts Kelechi or Ty, how to pronounce his name. I'm sure they'll
Arts Kelechi, I'm not sure about Ty. Brennan McCaffrey says, Robbie, I got interviewed by you in DC. I said we needed to pay for Tierney, 25 million. Who is in the top three? Who is your top three right back targets? He says, I think Dumfries. He's an established player, not some risk. I like Lamptey.
Yeah.
He's played in the Premier League. The only thing with Lamptey is the injuries. Dumfries looked good in the Euros,
But just
I haven't seen enough of him defensively to know what he's like as a defender.
I was going to say...
But I get excited by Lamptey every time I see him.
So do
play.
I. So do I.
How dynamic he is.
I want to take a lot of players from Brighton. I feel I'm going to give us most of Brighton's squad right now. No. I don't want Mope.
That would please tie in it, Mope.
Him clapping Mope off every game.
Tejas says Max Aarons. Of course, Max Aarons would be. I think Aarons would be a great signing as well. But again, Max Aarons would be very, very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very, very expensive. And it's how much money have we got?
Robbie, if any word on, probably not, because I haven't heard much for this transfer window, or anything news on Martinelli. Not that he's leaving the club or anything, but it's been very quiet for him, obviously. I'm expecting him to feature massively in this next season.
Martinelli...
Nothing come through.
Martinelli, you know...
Just having...
He's set to be going to the Olympics with Brazil. So,
I didn't know that.
Which is a bit of a shame for his pre-season, but I expect to see a lot more of Martinelli next season. I think he's absolute quality. But yeah, Shah says, where has Daniel Ek gone? Well, he hasn't gone away, Daniel Ek.
He made another
Daniel Ek is still around. Obviously, he's just waiting in the wings. He wants to buy the club, but the problem is if the current owners don't want to sell the club,
what do you do?
What do? You have to play a waiting game, and I think that's what he's doing. He's playing.
He upped his bid from 1.8 to 2 billion, and I think that, to me, that's crazy. But yeah, he's upped it to 2 billion still. They said they don't want the money.
They don't need the money, to be fair. They're very rich people. Vignesh says Ruben Neves is a must. I wouldn't be unhappy with Ruben Neves as a signing.
Look at that super chat.
What, this one?
Yeah, go on, read it.
Hey, Jayling's fan says, Robbie, do you think this will be Arteta's last season?
During All or Nothing, you think they're going to... I mean, it could definitely happen, but the documentary's being made...
What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing, but do they want to see a sacking of a man?
Wasn't Mourinho in All or Nothing?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying during that season... Obviously, this is the season that they're going to
When
film.
Mourinho is in All or Nothing, is he still there? He's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
Right, he got nothing.
Would you want to sack a manager during that? You have no choice. Well, you might not have a choice.
Stuff in the TV programme, man. If he's not producing the goods. This season is huge for Mikel Arteta. There are no excuses now. There's no, it's not my team, it's his team, and it's your team.
Yeah.
You're the manager. You've now had a couple of seasons. There's no excuses. 8th position for Arsenal Football Club is not good enough, and that's not me saying it. Mikel Arteta himself says that. It's not good enough. You're not going to have no more excuses. If you don't push this team into the minimum European football in the Europa League next season, I'd expect him to be fired.
Yeah, same.
It's as simple as that.
How long do you think, like, I'm not saying that how long do you think he's still sat, but do you think they're going to give him till Christmas, or do you think it could potentially could be before then or not. If it doesn't go the way we as fans want to see it go, as in
What do you
we'll start
mean?
winning games. How early do you think?
I think
he has
I think if he has a bad start up until Christmas, he could be gone.
by Christmas?
It's reality of football, man. That's how it is.
The fans will be because the fans will be back as well.
Big Lee says, Robbie, preaching fans to hit owners in their pocket, yet he's filling them, right? Hypocrisy at its finest. Sorry, I love your channel and you, Robbie, but I have to be honest.
we
Now, I'm filling my pockets with what, right? I work like probably you work.
No, I think he's saying filling their pockets because you.
I'm filling their pockets.
because you go to games.
It's not. You know what? It probably is a bit of hypocrisy because, as I said, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, you're not lying.
The only way, me, you, Bigley, I don't know if you go to games, you,
me,
the guys
James,
over there,
everyone here.
all of us, the only way, every single fan out there, the only way we could really damage the Cronkies, personally, was if we all came together and said, that's it, we're done. We ain't going to no more games. We ain't watching no more Arsenal. We ain't doing nothing.
But you have to come together.
Zero.
Have to come together.
But
You can't
I'm
just do it
saying to you,
individually.
right? I'm saying to you, this is the problem in football. This is where these owners, they've got us. This is why they get away with it, right? Because they know that we love our club. So there is a little bit of hypocrisy in it because we love our club so much. We can't keep away. I can't keep away from my football club. I want to go. I want to see them play. I need to see them play. It's like, the football is like drugs.
Yeah.
It is your drug, isn't it? It's like,
it's not a good
you
one.
know?
It's a painful one. This year, I felt the effects of it. But you're right. It's like a drug.
Listen, this year in particular, but even when you know the drugs are mashing you up, like what I've seen, right? It's been mashing me up. Arsenal been mashing me up for years, right? I still want more.
Hey, talk to Frank, man.
Frank can't help me. I still need more, man. I need more drugs I need more of that Arsenal drug.
Let me.
And there'll be people around me saying, Robbie, what's the matter with you? Why you even bother? Why go? Why put yourself through that? And I'm like,
We love the club, man.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just need to be there.
Yeah.
It's like a drug, right? So that's what you are, Big Lee, to be fair. You got a point, yeah? It is hypocrisy, but bro, I can't keep away from I've done it for so many years. I love it, and you love it, and we all love it, and they got us, man. They got us.
Let me talk.
It's a horrible situation because it's not. They don't deserve to have us.
They don't.
Right, the way they treat us, they don't deserve it. They don't understand what they have in their hands. They don't understand the size of this football club. They don't understand the history. They don't understand the fans. They don't understand
nothing.
All they understand
the
is
numbers.
a bottom line on it. And football clubs in this country of England is more than a bottom line. It's your family. It's your history. It's your culture. It's everything to a fan over here and around the world as well.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it.
Let me just quickly talk on it, just quickly, briefly as well. Big up Lee as well for that comment, and Robbie. You got Robbie right in the feelings because he goes straight back. But just on that, I went to the last game thanks to you of the season, and the hypocrisy of it all was protesting outside before. We went in there was fans still singing, and Cronkies were in there. It's hypocritical, but unless everyone comes together,
they didn't know the Cronkies were there. They would have been.
But if all the fans came together and said, "Listen, we're not going to go," I think that would be more powerful because people are still going to go regardless.
It's,
like you
it's
said.
tough, man. It's tough.
tough.
Morris says, "I love Wilfried Zaha. How good will he be to replace Willian? With Zaha, costs around 35 million, age 28, proven
35
winger,
million?
and Arsenal fan. Zaha, Madison, Basuma, 130 million. I think that boat has sailed now." And Zuyen says, "We have to get their attention in the US. That they'll even watch the games. Send some sign-ups, and I'll hand them out at the Florida Cup. Hashtag Cronky out." We were in Florida, is me and Troops, not Florida, Denver. And we was at the game, and the Cronkies were sat up in the stands. I remember Troops was shouting and having a go at them, and all the security was looking at us and everything. But
you're not in your home country. You feel a bit different when you're there. And there's a super chat here as well from ID Incar says, "I believe that Arsenal will get some players this window, but we should not expect to get big players. We will be the underdogs for this season."
Okay. Right, so we're coming to the end of the show right now. We're going to round it up. It's been a great one. We've been in here for over an hour, so thank you very much. Don't forget, there's not going to be an AFTV News Daily tomorrow because we're doing a watch along to Arsenal's first pre-season. You wouldn't believe it. It doesn't seem like the season's over because the Euros have just finished. But pre-season starts tomorrow. Arsenal taking on Hibernian up there in Edinburgh, in Scotland. Their first pre-season, so might get to see some players like Aubameyang, and those players have a run out as well as Nuno Tavares. So really looking forward to that. So yes, make sure you check that out tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Well, we'll be going live before 6 o'clock, but the game kicks off at 6 o'clock. And the guys going to be in the studio, lead judges, Ty, DT, all those guys. So make sure you check that out. And just before I go, a super chat here from Carlos.
I like this one.
Robbie, cheers from Chicago. I'm with you. The club is everything to me. It was there before my girl. Arsenal is everything. Hope to see you in Florida. Carlos,
I love you.
Said they got us, man.
Yeah,
That's
they got us bad.
They got us, man. It ain't just Arsenal. They got every owner of every football club. Even if it's a tiny little football club, they know they got us, man.
Yeah.
And they know they'll be sitting there and they'll be saying, yeah, but they'll be back next week. And they're kind of right. We will be, but they don't deserve, and these cronkies this summer, they got to buck their ideas up then. Show us what you're going to do. You got the club. You don't want to sell it to Daniel Ek at the moment. Then what are you going to do with it? Are you going to back Mikel Arteta this summer? Are you going to give him the resources to start getting this club back to where it belongs? We will find out. Thanks for watching the show. I'll be back in the morning with Transfer Daily. Big up to you, Cecil, as well. You'll be here tomorrow.
Make sure you like, get the likes to 1,000. Okay, we're almost there at 774. Get it to 1,000. Thank you for watching.
No worries, and I will see you guys tomorrow.